Soul Simmers, it's ThatSimminWitch here, and we are about to have another little a wicked Wednesday, but later on in the week, spooky season video where we are going to be looking at the Halloween costumes that I would give the townies. So we are doing Oasis Springs this week. I don't know if I'll do any more of the towns. I have a few other ideas for some spooky videos for the rest of spooky season, so I'll maybe have to think that through. But yes, I thought that this would be fun for the base game worlds at least, because obviously everyone has access to the base game with it being free now. Just a little, just a little, I don't know, PSA, I guess, is that Pally, my little cat who yells, he is currently sitting on the desk next to the microphone. I'm hoping you can't hear his little purry, ness, but he, yeah, he likes the attention, and at the moment he's being pretty good, so I'm hoping that he's not going to cause me too many problems, sorry. So let's get on with what we're going to do. I think we might start with the calientes first, so let's do it from here. We're going to do it like we did last time. We're going to go into Creator Sim. As you'll see, a couple of the calientes have different colour hair than usual. That's because I've had to dye their hair for their costumes. So we shall start with Katrina, because yeah, she's the matriarch, and she deserves to be first for a change. So let's go to her party wear. So as we all know from when I did my makeovers, Katrina is a big fan of Britney. So of course for Halloween she was going to be Britney from the Hit Me Baby One More Time video. So of course this isn't exactly perfect, because there isn't really a top that's the same as the Britney one. There's a few different tops that you could use that would give the same kind of effect, but this one happened to be my favourite, and I kind of wanted it to look a little bit off as well, because with Katrina being a little bit like trailer trash, if you like, I really like the thought that her costume wasn't perfect. So that is how we've ended up with Britney Spears, but from Temu. So this particular top is from Dream Home Decorator, but there's a few other ones that you could use. There was this one you could probably get away with from Eco Lifestyle. That kind of has a bit of a similar vibe. There's one I think as well from High School Years, or just any normal shirt. I prefer the cropped shirt, because she does have Britney has a cropped shirt in the video. But if you don't have access to a cropped shirt, just any shirt would do. You can kind of get the same kind of vibe. This little skirt is one of the new packs. Oh, what is that pack called? I've forgotten. Let's have a look. The Sweet Allure one. So it's like the little preppy pack, but there are a few different little skirts that you could use. There is a base game one that I was toying with using. Where is it? Where'd you go? Maybe it's because the party tag is still on. Let's shift you on down here. I know it's near the end. This one. It has a few different swatches, so you could have a little tartan moment. If you just wanted to do a schoolgirl in general, maybe you could do the tartan skirt and a little shirt, if you didn't necessarily want it to be specifically Britney. But yeah, I gave her a little hairband on her wrist, mainly because the hair isn't quite the same as Britney. She has fluffy scrunchy things in her hair, so I thought I'll put a scrunchie on her wrist, kind of tie that together. Yeah, and these shoes are from the same Sweet Allure kit, but you could just use some white heels. There are tons of like heels that you could use, especially in base game. And these, I think these socks that I'm using, I think they're probably base game. Yeah, they are base game. So you probably could pull a similar look off, if not quite the same, with base game. I decided to use this hair, which was Snowy Escape. Yeah, Snowy Escape. But you can just use any plaited hair, in my opinion. I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. The cat just decided he was going to run off and he wanted to get all tangled up in the wires first. So anyway, yeah, so this one is Snowy Escape. I lightened her hair and made it like this dark blonde colour. I probably would have ideally liked it to be a little bit darker, like just a shade lighter than the like lightest brown. It's kind of really annoying that like the blonde is a bit too blonde, but the brown is way too brown. But I went blonder rather than darker. I thought that made a bit more sense. I looked at Brittany's makeup and tried to make it as match as well as possible. She did have hoop earrings, just she has double pierced ears, I think, in the video, but obviously we don't have a double piercing that is the same on both sides. So, and I wanted like little sleepery hoop kind of things. Gave pink lips because Brittany had like pinky lips. But yeah, I think she looks quite fun. It's very on brand Katrina. It's like not quite right, but almost right. But like I said, you don't necessarily have to do Brittany. You could do any like schoolgirl kind of thing. Maybe like for a young adult or something. Maybe they've put their old school uniform on for their Halloween party or something like that. So that was that vibe. So then we have Dina, and for her we have a little retro moment. Like, none of these really link super well in this family. Katrina does have a link to the land grabs, but you'll see that when we get to the land grabs. But yeah, I thought like Dina would want to do something really like sort of pretty much perfectly. So we went for this like little 60s like moment, a bit Mary Quant, the fashion designer, because I think like it kind of suits Dina. And like, although Dina isn't a perfectionist, I think she would try and be a little bit of a perfectionist. So if she was going to do a costume right, if she was going to do a costume, she'd really want to do the costume right. So that's why I went for this little dress. This is one of the like Depop dresses like that you can get from Trendy. So yeah, I really love this dress. I think it's really cute. I really wish it came in multiple colours because I just think it's really sweet. I used the same shoes as I did with Katrina, so they're from the Sweet Allure. These tights are oops, wrong section. Oh yeah, Get to Work. And yeah, I think this hair, I love this hair, like the like beehive, it works really well. That one's the Cool, is it Cool Kitchen, that one with the little ice cream logo? But yeah, I think she looks really, really cool. I gave her these little like flowery earrings. I just think they kind of suit the vibe. They're kind of like nice and big, and sort of like a lot of this kind of Mary Quant like 60s fashion was very like simplistic and bold. So it was really important to make sure that like there were lots of like bold colours and that like things kind of like sort of matched quite well and nothing was overly complicated. Makeup wise, I gave her like wings on her eyeliner because that is quite 60s. We gave her really pink cheeks because that is also quite 60s, and we went for a little light pink lip because again, very 60s. I do love fashion, although I'm not typically a person who is super fashionable. Like, I don't wear designer clothes and all that jazz. I do really love fashion, and like in The Sims especially, like that's one of my favorite things to do, is to like dress up a Sim and like decide on their fashion and like why they would be wearing this dress or this pair of trousers or whatever. So It's like, I am a bit obsessed. Like, I went to a Mary Quant like exhibition at the V&A Museum in London, and yeah, I just love this little like groovy like little outfit. She looks like she's come straight from Austin Powers. So then we'll move on to Nina. So Nina, obviously, she's had her hair dyed, and hers is a little bit vaguer, but I'm hopefully think that you should be able to tell what she is once you see her in the costume. So did it not? There we go. So I'm hoping that you get that this is Jasmine from Disney's Aladdin. So I know it's not perfect, but it's kind of like the vibe. It's kind of like, I don't know, instead of buying a costume from a store that's like, you just buy it and wear it, this is I found these pieces individually in like, maybe like charity shops or thrift stores or places like that, where you would go and like think, oh, I could maybe get away with using this for whatever, that kind of thing. So she's got this like bikini top, and these are like the bikini top is from the little like I can't remember what that kit's called either. It's really hard to keep track of all the kits sometimes. Poolside Splash. So that's like a little like bikini top. These are Spa Day, the trousers. They're like little yoga ones, the very first ones right at the top. But yeah, they were the right colour. They were the only like sort of right colour ones that I could find that also looked a little bit sort of like, I know they're not super balloony like Jasmine's are, but they're kind of like, they were the best that sort of like fit the description. These cute little shoes are City Living, I believe. Yes, they are. Jasmine has little like turned up shoes that she wears, but these were like the closest that we kind of have. They turn up a little bit, but they're obviously, she's not a cartoon. This necklace is almost exactly the same as the necklace that Jasmine wears. This is obviously her earrings. I think, hang on, let's go on accessories, make it a bit easier. Yeah, the Dream Home Decorator. The necklace, I believe, yeah, the necklace is base game. But yeah, I really loved it. I actually just realised that I forgot to do her makeup. I think I got so caught up in everything else with her that I actually forgot to change her makeup. So yeah, that's a bit of a faux pas there, but never mind. This little hairband is obviously from Enchanted by Nature. It's not quite the same as what Jasmine wears, but obviously we don't really have like any kind of like tiara-y crown thing unless it's like on an actual hair, and none of those sort of like worked that well with what I wanted. I went for like this quite long hair, long straight hair, because Jasmine has super long hair. We obviously don't have hair that's as long as that, sorry, because Jasmine's is like sort of down to here, it's like way past her butt. But yeah, so that was the closest. I kind of really like this one. I kind of think it's like such a vibe. It like, I can tell who it is, but like it's also sort of like quite easygoing and sort of like relaxed, and like definitely one of those things that you think, oh, I can pull this off. I've got a top that's the right colour, and I've got those trousers, they'll do. Gives off the Jasmine vibe. But then now we're going to move on to Don, and as you can see, he's clean shaven. One thing that I found out while I was making these videos is that if you take off a beard in one of their outfits, it takes it off completely, which to me doesn't make any sense, because surely like the whole point is that if he doesn't have a beard in one outfit, maybe he's just shaved. Like tell me, do you think that's weird as well? Because I think it's really weird. But he needed to not have a beard because he needed to look a bit smooth and suave. So you might have guessed that Don Lothario was of course going to be James Bond. He sees himself as a James Bond. He's proper smarmy and gross and thinks he's a lady killer like James Bond. So that's how we got to James Bond. This really was just an easy one. I think this actual tux, I think I did it in separates because it was my favourite. Yeah, but they're both base game, like the top and the trousers. You could pick whatever. Sorry, you can hear my cat yelling. Yes. Pally, come on. Come on if you're coming. So guys, you can probably hear he's yelling at me still, but he is sat here and he's kind of sat still. So you might just get like a little bit of extra ASMR this week with a little bit of cat noises, purring and meows maybe in the background. But as I was saying, James Bond is super easy to do. I think the whole entire outfit is base game. Yep, even his shoes. You could pick any tux that you want. I just thought this looked the most James Bond. And then his hair, I just picked, yep, a base game hair that was like sleeked back. I think this is quite a good one for, obviously for Don Lothario, because he does think he's like a lady killer and that he's some kind of suave like guy. But also like maybe someone who's a little bit apprehensive about going to like a Halloween party or a costume party. Like maybe they kind of want to look pretty normal, so a tux is something quite normal. You're not really going to get stared up for walking down the street wearing a tux. So that's the Caliente household. So I think we are going to move on now. I think we're going to go for the land grabs. Just because I absolutely love Nancy's costume and it ties really well with Katrina's. We are going to start with Nancy, I'm afraid. Sorry, Jeffrey, you're going to have to wait your turn. So, like, obviously, Nancy is the matriarch of the land grab household. She is the boss of the land grab household, as far as I'm concerned. Malcolm and Jeffrey just have to do exactly what she wants. Like, she doesn't care what they think. She's the boss. She's the one in charge. She is the one that is going to make sure that she gets what she wants. So, in that respect, she's a lot like Katrina. Who is obviously the matriarch from the Calientes. But I thought it would be super fun if they sort of had a little bit of a rivalry going on. So you might have noticed that her hair is slightly lighter than what it normally is. But yes, Nancy is Christina Aguilera, specifically from the Moulin Rouge video. We love a little bit of Britney Christina beef. Being an elder millennial, this is kind of going on when I was a teenager, and although I wasn't really a big fan of Britney or Christina at the time, it's like memories. It's brilliant. So obviously she's got this little corset on, which is base game. The shoes were from the little Bella inspired kit, like Business Chic, is it called? Something like that. Let's have a look. Where is it? Yes, Business Chic. Then we've got the little stockings, which I believe are, Love Struck. Gloves are just base game, I'm pretty sure. Yes, they are. But yes, I think she looks so good. She's got this big curly hair on from Island Living. Because Christina had massive curly hair in that video. Like, I swear her hair must have weighed more than she did in that video. If you've never seen it, go watch it and you'll see that it's basically this. I gave her this really like crazy eyeshadow because they did have really crazy eyeshadow and the red lips. I gave her a nose piercing because Christina has, or she used to anyway, I don't know if she still does, but then she did have a little nose piercing, so I gave her a nose piercing. And she did used to have a piercing, like one of the Monroe piercings, but because we didn't have them in the game, instead I gave Nancy a little mole, sort of like as if she drew that on, sort of like to look like the piercing kind of thing. So there you have it. There is her as Christina. This, I gave her like this layered necklace because Christina has this, like, in this video, she has this like crazy necklace on, and that was kind of like the nearest that you could get. It isn't really it isn't really the same. Like, the Christina necklace was sort of like, I don't know, a little bit spiky, and sort of like, it seemed like it had a bit like tassels. It's hard to explain. If you go and have a look at the video, you'll see. Yeah, so I went for like this layered necklace. It was kind of the best like that I could go with. It kind of like suited the vibe the most. So yes, we have our little rivalry of our our Nancy as Christina Aguilera for Halloween. And of course, she's had so much plastic surgery as well, which is my headcanon, like, for why I think that's what she's supposed to look like, to be fair, because she's got like the big pouty lips, and she's got the massive boobs and whatever. So I think she is supposed to look like she's had plastic surgery. So as far as I'm concerned, that's the case, and she thinks that she looks like absolutely amazing, and that she is like super hot. So that's why she's gone for Christina wearing basically no clothes. Christina Aguilera did not wear that many clothes when she was in this kind of era. So it's actually quite interesting. I did have another look planned, but I was really struggling trying to get the colours right, and it just wasn't working. And then I remembered this video, and I'm like, you know what, I can do that. So that's why we went for this. But I absolutely love this. You could do like a similar vibe. You could do like a Rocky Horror thing with this, like putting this on like a masculine sim in one of the other colours. I just think, yeah, it's super fun anyway. So we're going to go on to Jeffrey. And Jeffrey is clueless, as always. In my sort of headcanon, we haven't got to making over the land grabs yet, but in my headcanon, Jeffrey is a little bit clueless. He's not quite sure what's going on. And he's just like a generally sort of like sweet, nice guy who's just kind of trying to get on with like living his life with his wife, who's really bossy, and his child, who's really spoiled. And yeah, so Jeffrey decided that he wanted to be Prince Charming. So he didn't want to spend money. Like, he's not from the land grab, is all on Nancy. Like, he took her name. He is not the land grab heir. Nancy is the land grab heir. So he took her name, and so he didn't have a lot of money. So he's not used to being able to spend lots of money to get all the costumes and all this stuff that he wants. So he decided to utilise his old marching band outfit, and he went for this as being Prince Charming. Now, of course, Prince Charming, if you look at the Cinderella cartoon, like the Disney one, he has these kinds of like epaulette things on, but he's in like pale colours. He's in like pale blue and pale white. But obviously we don't have that. The only version that we have is this Moschino one. And I just thought it was hilarious that like Jeffrey would think, oh, I've got the perfect outfit to do Prince Charming, and then actually it's completely all wrong. And yeah, he's just utilising his old high school band, like marching band uniform. He's got some little shoes on. I think those ones are life and death, but you really could just chuck any shoes on him. It doesn't really make that much difference. I just like these because they have the little bit of the heel, and it kind of suited the vibe, shall we say. The gloves are just base game gloves, because Prince Charming wears gloves. He already had the hair, so I didn't have to do anything for the hair. I just took his, I should have probably dyed his hair, but I have a feeling that, like, Jeffrey wouldn't want to do that. He'd be like, you know what, this will do. This is good enough. He's like, I've got the outfit. Most people will get it, maybe, if I explain to them. But he did shave his tash off. And take his glasses off. He's wearing his contacts for this outfit. So yes, this is Jeffrey's version of Prince Charming, and because I do like a little bit of a story, that's kind of why I went for this. Like these like little Halloween costumes, for me, it's not just about figuring out a Halloween costume and putting them in a Halloween costume. It's also about what I think those townies would wear and their reasonings behind it, and that is how we end up as Jeffrey wanting to be Prince Charming but not actually pulling it off. So our final land grab household member is Malcolm, and as you can see, he's got a different haircut, and as you can see, I accidentally did it again on his everyday outfit. But I don't know how many of you have seen Doug, the TV show. Well, he is the like not very nice bully guy from Doug. The name escapes me at the moment. It is, I think it's like Rick something. Hang on 1 second. It's not Rick, it's Roger Klotz. I couldn't remember what his name was. He does in the cartoon, he does have like a greeny kind of weird coloured skin, but I didn't bother changing the skin. I just thought the vibe was good enough. Like, he looks like a bad guy, like a bad boy, and because he wants to be like a public enemy and he is evil and a snob, I thought that, you know what, I think that kind of like bully vibe really suits Malcolm. So obviously the jacket is just the base game one. The jeans sorry, I'm sorry he keeps yelling at me, but you know, keeps the videos interesting, I guess. The jeans are movie stuff, but you could use any jeans, like ripped jeans. He does have turn-ups, that's why I decided on these ones, because the character does have turn-ups. And then these boots are the little goth ones. I picked them because of the buckles, because he does have buckles on his shoes, but you could probably just put any of the boots on, like if you have like only base game, or you don't happen to have the goth kit, you could just put like these boots on. That gives like a similar effect, and they're base game, they're kind of like base game Doc Martin kind of things. So yeah. Then obviously I gave him a haircut. This is the kind of hair that he has. He kind of just has sort of like 3 hairs, a bit like Homer Simpson, but sort of like slicked back rather than like, yeah, it's weird. Anyway, but yeah, and I did the ginger hair because that's what colour Roger has. And he does have a very similar facial feature actually to Roger. Like, he's got quite, like, the nose is very similar. But yes, so if you haven't seen Dog, if you Google Roger Klotz from Dog, or even just Dog Bully, you will find him quite easily, and you'll see that that is what Malcolm is dressed as. So I think we should move on. We're going to do the roomies household, because I really want to leave Johnny till last, because Johnny, like, making Johnny gave me so much joy that we're going to go for the roomies. And of course I've already given one away because I forgot to that I put it on his everyday outfit. So I am going to start with Mitchell. So obviously Mitchell Kalani, I'm assuming his heritage. Like, I actually don't know much about this household. I know they're based on the cast, or like the characters from New Girl. I've never seen that show. I'm not a big fan of Zooey Deschanel, if I'm honest. So yeah, I kind of thought, like, with the name like Kalani, he's kind of like got the sort of like Hawaiian, like Polynesian kind of vibe to it. So we thought we'd go for Maui from Moana for Mitchell. So yeah, he has this hair. He has the island living hair again, the same one as Nancy had on. The tattoos, I spent ages doing the stencils. Some of these are ones that you can just put on, but then I filled up some of the gaps, like especially on his stomach and on his leg there, with stenciled ones. Yeah, this little skirt is from Enchanted by Nature. Absolutely perfect. I couldn't have asked for a better little skirt for Maui. It like literally is almost exactly the same as the one that he wears in Moana. Necklace wise, his necklace in Moana, he wears like bones or something around his neck. But we don't have a necklace like that, so I did this little like necklace that kind of looks a bit similar. And that's from Strangerville, I think. It isn't, it's a feminine item as well, it's not a masculine item. So yes, Strangerville, it is from Strangerville. I'm really sorry, I'm hoping that my sound is gonna be okay because my little mate keeps moving my microphone. But yes, I'm hoping I don't have to re-record this whole video, but we will see how it goes, I suppose. So yes, that's I thought we'd start with him just because it was easy, because he was on, I accidentally did it on his everyday look, but never mind. So we'll move on to Zoe, who is like the Zoe Deschanel character. I think her name's Jess in the show. Like I said, I've never seen it, and I did sort of like have a little bit of a read about what the show was about, because I didn't even know what the show was about. And apparently in it she was a teacher. So I thought that I actually really like what I've put her in a minute. You'll see this obviously isn't her costume, this is what she wears normally for party wear, but I thought with her being a teacher that maybe she would be sort of like something that was sort of like a bit more historically accurate maybe. So for her we have gone for like a 1920s like flapper look. So this dress is vintage glamour. It is kind of flappery. The only thing that I would maybe have liked would be that it was a little bit shorter, because there tended to be about knee length, the flapper dresses. But this is the best example of a flapper dress that we have in the game, so that's what I went with. Again, we have the same long gloves that we had for Nancy from base game. Shoes wise, I actually kept her in her shoes. I should have probably changed her shoes, I probably completely forgot. But shoes wise, you could probably put her in like something like, sorry, these the cats, seriously, I'm really sorry guys, and I just don't have the energy at the moment. It's been a hard week, and that's why this is late. Therapy was hard this week, my mental health's been struggling a bit this week, so I'm really sorry if the cats are being really distracting, but I'm kind of at the point where I really want to record this video, but also I mentally do not have the capacity to deal with cats at the moment. So I'll try my best to edit them out where I can. But yeah, you could probably go with these little shoes anyway. They're kind of like the low heels are kind of more flapper-ish than anything else. Like I said, I probably should have put that on her, but I forgot. So we use this cute little hair from Life and Death. I absolutely love this hair. It's really like well done, like all the little swirls, and it is very 1920s/1930s, which I absolutely love. I did give her extra eyelashes, even though she already had some eyelashes on, but they had like quite big eyelashes. The makeup, likewise, the eyeshadow is quite dark, not like super dark, but they mostly wore sort of like black or like grey eyeshadow, but it wasn't too heavy. The eyeliner, I tried to stick to just the top lid, because they mostly would have just used the top lid. Nice pink apple cheeks, and red lips with the cupid's bow that's really exaggerated. That is very 1930s makeup for you, or 1920s, sorry, makeup for you. The little earrings, I went for these, like, I think they're wedding stories. Oh, hang on, we were on piercings. Yes, wedding stories. I just like thought they just happened to be the right colour, and like I wanted some like dangly earrings, but I thought these ones were the best because they kind of looked a little bit sort of like vintage with the little flowers on. I went for these base game pearls for her necklace. Yeah, they are base game. I just sort of did the off-white ones because I thought that kind of sort of they matched the earrings and kind of went with the like the vibe basically. But I absolutely love this like outfit. I just think it looks really cute. I'm obsessed. And even though I'm not really like that invested in Zoe Patel, this is a work of art. So the only thing I wish we had was a little like flapper like headdress thing, which is normally sort of like a little bit of a headband with a feather on, but obviously we don't have anything even slightly like that, so we didn't even try and replicate it because it just would have ruined the hair. So yes, that's what Zoe's going for. Then we're going to go for Jay Huntington the Third, because yeah, you can see he's got dyed hair as well. I'm not a big fan of him, to be honest. But yes, so with him, you probably won't recognise this, and there'll probably be a little bit of a niche amount of people that do recognise this kind of outfit. But I really love 80s movies. Any other movies that have the Brat Pack in, so like Molly Ringwald and Andrew McCarthy and Emilio Estevez, those kinds of people. Well, this is James Spader, how he looks in Pretty in Pink. I hate James Spader, I hate the character, and I hate Jay Huntington III. So it kind of fits with Jay Huntington III being posh. In the movie, the character that James Spader plays is supposed to be really posh and really horrible and gross and just like Weasley and just the worst person. So yes, this is James Spader in Pretty in Pink, and I really hope that, like, if you don't know who that is, that you go and Google it and find out, because I think he looks pretty cool. The hair is almost perfect. It's maybe a little bit more perfect than I would have liked. Like, I would have liked it to be a little bit scruffier. But yeah, this suit is Wedding Stories. It's really the only oversized suit. I kind of would have liked it to be a shirt, like an open shirt underneath. But you really need an oversized suit as well. Like, it doesn't work. So this was like the best compromise. But the colour is right. He wears a lot of the pale suits in the movie. And then this hair is actually from Adventure Awaits. It's like one of the new hairs. I just thought that, like, it's flicky, and although it is very 70s, it also works for his character in Pretty in Pink. So yes. I'm absolutely obsessed. So there's that. And then, because we're continuing with old school favourites, I guess, of mine, we are going on to Gavin. And Gavin, he is our Fresh Prince. So I loved The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when I was a kid. It was like one of my favourite shows to watch, and I had to have a Sim dressed as the Fresh Prince, and Gavin was the most appropriate one to dress like that, since he's the only black sim, black townie sim that we have in base game. So yeah. I just this is just a base game top. These are the Urban Homage shorts, but there are tons of shorts that you could use if you don't have that kit. The shoes are base game too, the little like sneakers. I absolutely love these sneakers. I just think they're really cute and they go really well. Then I gave him this like hair that's very 90s. It's from the from Get Together. I did also toy with giving him another hair. Hang on, if we take that off, we will we'll do afro textured because it'll be easier to find that way. There we go. This was the other one I toyed with giving him. I do really like this one, but the more true Fresh Prince of Bel-Air look was this one. It was the more like squared off one, if you like, and the less crazy one. So I absolutely love him. Yeah, so I really want to do the Fresh Prince rap, but I know I will regret forever committing that to a video that's going to go on YouTube that will be found on the internet for years and years to come. So I am not going to. But I really think now that we should move on to Johnny, because I have such a fun time with Johnny's outfit. It was just brilliant. So obviously we know that well most people know, I don't know if everyone knows, but Johnny Zest is the disowned land grab child. So his mom is actually Nancy, but he was disowned by his family, so that's why he lives in that little trailer, and he's pursuing his dreams by working in comedy. Yes, he has a tash, and you will see why in a minute. I am absolutely obsessed with his look that I gave him. Right, so because he's a comedian, right, obviously I will unveil the outfit in a minute, but let me do a little bit of build up. So because he was a comedian, I wanted him to have something really funny and something that sort of like reflected his story as well. Something that he probably would make fun of when he was doing his like stand-up comedy. So I think he would joke a lot about being like the disowned land grab child. So I thought that for his Halloween costume he would go as Grandpa Land Grab. So I got him dressed up as his grandpa basically. So we gave him this like sort of long dressing gown, smoking jacket kind of thing from Life and Death. These little slippers are from Get Famous. I think these little rings are Get Famous as well. Let me see. Oh, take the party bit off. Where are they? We're on wrist. We're not on rings. What am I doing? Yes, they get Famous, and that's just the base game ring that I wanted because I wanted him to have a wedding ring on. But yes, absolutely obsessed. He's obviously got a monocle that's from Vintage Glamour or Get Famous. I can't remember. Let me see. Get Famous. He has that hair on, and then he has the little toupee hat from the old people's little kit that came out recently. I've forgotten what it was called. Golden Years. So yeah, he has the little toupee. I went for the really cheese yellow because Malcolm's got that like cheese yellow colour hair normally. But I absolutely love him. I gave him this tash because it's very like old gentleman, rich man, like kind of looks like the Monopoly man. I just absolutely love it, and it just made me laugh so much. Hang on 1 second. Sorry about that, guys. I just had a real big sneezing fit. But yes, I absolutely adore this. I couldn't stop laughing when I was putting it on him. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do at first, and I was kind of like playing around with a few different ideas, and then I was like, you know what, Grandpa Land Grab, here we come. That is what Johnny Zest is going to be like, and he's not afraid to wear the stupid toupee and like look silly because he's a comedian and he's all about making people laugh, making people smile, and just being an all-round decent guy. So yes, Little Johnny is probably my favourite of the outfits today. Even though I had some really good ones this time. Like the Maui one was really good. It really, like, you can really see that like a million miles away that it's Maui. But this is just my favourite just because of how much it made me laugh and sort of how much it reflects the personality of Johnny Zest. But I am going to spend all my time rambling anyway. I just really do want to apologise for how chaotic this video was today. I just really wanted to do this video. I really wanted to make it. I'm going to be busy for the rest of the week, so I wanted to get it done like now while I wasn't super busy. and everything was just going wrong with the cats. Hopefully it's not too chaotic and it's not too awful to listen to. Hopefully my passion for the Sims and like the costumes that I'm putting the Sims in shines through. If you could like the video and subscribe, that would be really grand, because yeah, it's been a tough week, and this it was a bit of a mission to get here, but I really want to say thank you if you did see this all the way to the end. But yeah, I think I'm going to say dag dag now, and I hope you all have an awesome day. So dag dag.